Hello MDC. Today I'm doing something a little more relaxed, a little different. I don't know if you guys are gonna like this. Also, I put my beats in the background. Hopefully that's not too annoying. I figured, a lot of people like to put music in the background of videos like this, and I figured might as well put my beats, right? They're pretty relaxing. They're gonna match the vibe. We're doing something a little different here. So anyway, just to get into it, we're gonna be rating. Well, basically, we're going to be doing a tier list of different Yu-Gi-Oh decks, but it's not about which deck is tier 1, which deck is tier 2. This is about the size of the brain of the individuals playing these decks. So, we've got our tiers here. We've got Dino Player, Cosmo Brain, Men of Culture, Bot 3 War Rock Mountain. This is just like questionable, maybe not, maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't worth it. We'll see. We don't know yet. Degenerate but cool. Monkey Flip, haha. Degenerate not cool. Anime fan. And the infamous Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So we've got a pretty comprehensive list here, so let's just get into it. We'll start with the obvious one. Get this one out of the way. Actually, let me do something for you guys real quick. Maybe it'll be easier if we just have everything in sight at once. So there we go. So yeah, let's get dinos out of the way. Dino Player, biggest brain possible. We already know what it is. All the combo lines with popping babies, all the times where you have to really think hard about what Misc does and how the effect works, all those times where you have to remember to press chaining back on and not leave it off so that you can activate Misc when you normal summon Ovi. It's a lot of really tough stuff, very difficult, and you need a very, very big and humongous brain to play this deck. So I don't think anyone in the comments is going to argue with this one. Dino Player is just the king, the cream of the crop, the tip of the top. Okay. Next we're going to be looking at Blue Eyes, I suppose. We've got two Blue Eyes here. We have the ritual variant and the regular Blue Eyes variant. So we're going to put the regular Blue Eyes in Anime Fan. I love this deck. It's really cool. Arguably, you could say that you need a huge brain, but the reason you would need a huge brain is because this deck is not good. And if you have such a huge brain, you probably shouldn't be playing this awful deck. So we're gonna put this in Anime Fan. I mean, it's obviously the Anime Fan deck, right? So we'll just leave that there. What next? Well, we could do Blue Eyes Chaos Max while we're at it. Chaos Max, I feel like it's Anime Fan, but it's kind of cool, right? Like, it's not like if you win with Chaos Max, you're feeling kind of cool. So I'm gonna say you're a degenerate, but you're cool. If you're playing Chaos Max, you're a degenerate, but you're cool. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go for this. My eyes gravitated towards that. So for this card in particular, the True Draco archetype, I mean, I'm looking at Caveman, do I dare give that the Caveman? You know what? I feel like True Draco players are degenerate, but they're not quite Caveman level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're like Caveman level of brain power. So we're going to give them degenerate, but not cool, man. This is not cool. If you're playing this deck, not cool, man. Not cool. Next, we have Dark Magician. I mean, I don't really need to say much about this one. Same difference, Anime Fan. This is also a deck that you need a pretty big brain to win with. But if your brain is that big, you probably shouldn't be playing it in the first place. Now let's go to the Harpy ladies. In particular, we're mostly talking about Harpy Tri-Brigade because there's really no other functional variant of Harpy, I would say. Harpies are in Men of Culture. The deck is not very, like, it's not the hardest thing to play, but it's definitely got like it's got like interesting combo lines with Tri-Brigade to make it work. And also, I mean, you have to be a Man of Culture to be vibing with those Harpies, you know what I'm saying? Let me just lower the volume on this music just a little bit here. All right. Yeah, you really got to be a man of culture to vibe with the harpies. I mean, the monster girls, I'm all about it. I am all about it. So, man of culture without a doubt. No need to think about it. Here we have access code talker. Access code represents the code talkers. No, this card isn't pretty much like every other deck. But we're not doing every other deck with this card. We're just doing access code and code talkers. So for the code talkers, yeah, like I was thinking, like in this area, like it's definitely not like Dino player level of brain power, but it's not that easy of a deck to play, and it's a really cool deck. I'm inclined to give it Man of Culture, but I think I'm gonna put it in bot 3 War Rock Mountain. It's like potentially a very smart player, if they're playing this deck. Either they're a very smart player or they're a Vrain's anime fan, but I'm not about to put Code Talkers in the same category as Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. So we'll say that Code Talker players, they bought 3 War Rock Mountains. We've got 2 Dantes here, don't mind that. Ancient Gear players, I want to say Man of Culture because this deck is cool as fuck. Like the Earth Machine variant with like all the cool Earth Machine stuff, but I'm sorry guys. They're going in the anime fans. I mean, they're cool. They have cool things, but there's better Earth Machines to play. Like, if you're playing this instead of the good Earth Machines, that just means you're an anime fan. Obviously, you do need somewhat of a decent brain to even pilot this deck, but still, sorry, you're going with the Dark Magician Blue Eyes category. Maybe you can't see it because the artwork is so tiny on here, but that's Witchcrafter Golem Aruru. So Witchcrafters, there's only one place to put the Witchcrafters, and it's Man of Culture. I mean, let's just be real here. I don't think it's the most incredible Sigma Male giant brain deck in the universe, but to appreciate the Witchcrafter artwork, you definitely need to be a Man of Culture. So my rating for your brain is A-OK. It's working perfectly as God intended. Next we're looking at Dante, and just based on Farfa, we know for a fact that Burning Abyss players bought 3 War Rock Mountains, so I don't need to think about that one too much. Burning Abyss players, they just buy War Rock Mountains. They're smart, but they're not the smartest because they're kind of RNG. They kind of rely on that mill and shit like that. And they do a lot of Beatrice Pass, so we'll leave it at that. I think bought 3 War Rock Mountains. I mean, it's factually true, so perfect category for it. Let's just change the beat here. This has been going on for a bit too long for my taste. All right. So, yeah, I know, my own beat. So annoying. So, Doom King Balladrog here. We have zombies, the regular old zombies. This is not Eldritch. Eldritch has its own categories. This is just like the Balladrog zombies. And man, like, I love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks. I would love to put it like up here just because I play it in real life and I love this deck. But if I'm being serious with myself, if I'm being honest with myself, I'd say it's degenerate but cool. I mean, all I'm doing with this deck is basically like setting anti-spell fragrance, activating zombie world, activating what's that stupid there can only be one. We're basically just activating that shit, like got Balladrog on field and we just sleep on our opponent because he can't do anything, right? So degenerate, but I play this deck, so it's cool. Now we have Adamancipators with the Block Dragon. Adamancipators, kind of an RNG deck, it does require brain power. That I feel like we should make like a flow chart. It's not really flow chart because what? Fuck it. You got it, Adamancipator players. You're my first Cosmo Brain tier. Reason I'm gonna give it this tier is because they have to build routes based on their mills and shit, and they have to like pull a lot of plays out of their ass pretty much. It's a very good deck, so they're already smart for even playing it, and just the fact that they're playing with that mechanic and just kind of have to have so many different lines, like I was going to call it flowcharty, but I wouldn't really say that's the case. Or if it is, there's just so many flowcharts to remember that kind of have to give it up to them. They need a fucking cosmic brain to fit all those flowcharts in. So Cosmo Brain, you got it. Yeah, we'll put Dante down here out of the way. Now we have Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons, pretty base deck, pretty cool deck. Kind of a flow charty combo deck, honestly. But it's so cool, man. It's so cool. I wouldn't really put it in Cosmo Brain, it's not really like hard to play. I feel like if there's one place where we can put Cyber Dragons, it's definitely Man of Culture, right? Like I was about to put it in bot 3 Warrock Mountains, but I can't say that. I can't say that, man. Cyber Dragon players, they still have like, a lot of different lines to go into and, different ways of playing the deck. And I definitely think like if you're playing Cyber Dragon to this day, it's kind of similar to me still playing Dinos to this day. We kind of have to like, study the meta to figure out how to make the deck optimal and keep playing it against all odds and keep winning with it. So I'm going to put in Man of Culture. If you're playing Cyber Dragon to this day, you are definitely a Man of Culture. And speaking of Men of Culture, we have Dragon Maids. Now, Dragon Maids, again, not the most complicated deck. Let's be real here. Like, this shit is basically just set a trap pass. Like, you just summon this girl and set a trap pass. But look at that artwork, man. There is no way anybody who is not a Man of Culture would enjoy this deck. So, gotta be Man of Culture. That's a cultured brain right there. So we'll leave that as is. I don't really need to get into it too much. I think you guys already know why. Heralds. Now I put Diviner of the Herald here. Well, it's Herald Drytron. It's not just Heralds, it's Drytron basically. Drytron is, man, am I allowed to put, this is where I have to make a new category. This is actually where we have to add a category. Oh, whoops, we gotta move that back down. I'm gonna add a category above Men of Culture. Yeah, I hate to do it. But we're gonna have to add a row above Men of Culture, and we're gonna call it Flowchart Gods. All right. Or flowchart. Yeah, flowchart Chad. There we go. That's perfect. That is perfect. Oh my god, what is it? Wait, give me a second. Oh my goodness, what is this shit? This shit does not work. Alright, we'll put it that way. Flowchart Chad. So, let's be real here. Drytron players, they're on a flowchart, right? Like, they're definitely on a flowchart. But it's a pretty long flowchart. Like, they play for fucking 20 minutes. So, I'm sure it takes quite a bit of brain space to fit that combo in. I wouldn't give it Cosmo Brain because the combo's so consistent. It's not like you have to adapt or anything and have a bunch of different lines. But it's such big combo lines that we're going to give it Flowchart Chad. Or actually, Flowchart Daddy. There we go. Flowchart Daddy. You guys were probably waiting for this one. Eldritch. So Eldritch, do we put it in Monkey Flip? Haha. Or do we put it in Caveman? I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think this deck is Caveman, dude. Fucking flip skill drain. Fucking never need to think about anything. Everything you do is always fucking just the same shit. Just set 5 pass or just I don't know. I've never ever been surprised by an Eldritch play. I've never been like, what? He did that? You know what I mean? It's fucking Caveman, is it? And you know what? I'm not hating. Like, I would play Eldritch just for fun from time to time, just because I like turning my brain off from time to time. So, turn your brain off, play some Eldritch, have a cold brew with the boys. That sounds like a good time, but it's definitely Caveman brain Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're playing Eldritch. Here we have Endymion, and we're just going to put all Pendulum with Endymion. Endymion is based, man. We're going to put it in Cosmo Brain. like honestly, it's just such a cool deck. There's so many different lines. Triff Gaming is a fucking Chad, you know. Like I got a lot of respect for my pendulum players. I can't really play the deck because I mean, I'm a dino guy, you know. Like we don't really like get down like that. Don't have really like pendulums for dinos to play, and I'm not about to play Dino Mist. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, man, much respect for my pendulum players out there. And yeah, that's it. I mean, this deck is definitely Cosmo Brain, man. The fucking all the lines you have to learn, all the different ways you can play the decks, all the different engines you can make with pendulums. It's just crazy. And I just every time I play against a pendulum player, it's always something different. It's always a different way to do it. So it's just so cool. So yeah, definitely putting that shit in Cosmo Brain. I know a lot of people don't like pendulums or pendulum players, but that's old opinions, man. Like, get in with the new stuff, man. This shit is old now. Like pendulum's old news now. Gotta have some respect for it, man. This shit's sick. Oh my god. Exodia players. Okay, so see, you might say flowchart daddy because they have flowcharts on flowcharts, but fuck that shit. That's degenerate and it's not cool, man. Dude, Exodia's flowchart is always the same. It's not like a complicated flowchart. It's activate spells, draw cards, hope opponent can't stop me, which most of the time they can. This shit is fucking stupid. It's not cool. Definitely not cool. Except when you get to activate it. Like if I activated Exodia, I'd think it's cool. But when someone's doing it against me, it's not cool. So definitely degenerate, not cool. Fuck Exodia. Fuck Exodia. Fuck Exodia. Now we're looking at Fluffles. Now Fluffles, I'm thinking Men of Culture because they're so cute, and only a Man of Culture could really appreciate that cuteness. I wouldn't say it's Cosmo Brain. I don't want to go as far as to say it's Cosmo Brain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and definitely not like a flowchart daddy deck. Like it's not that flowcharty. I think Men of Culture, like right here, right next to Cyber Dragon, pretty fair placement, I would say. I think that's a pretty fair placement. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, Fluffles, they're so cute. Any Men of Culture would appreciate them, and their combo lines they get pretty complicated. Like there's a lot of different things you can do with them, and different lines you have to take. So I think this is fair. I think this is fair. There's also like you have to bait negates a lot with this deck and shit like that. So I think it requires a fair amount of thinking. We're gonna put in Men of Culture. Now we're looking at Salamangreat. Man, the brain on Salamangreat players. I'm gonna give him like a really light flowchart daddy. It's a super flowcharty deck. Like it's basically like just fucking link climbing deck. It's cool. I'm cool. Like I respect it. I'm cool with it. Got nothing against it, but it's definitely not like this tier of cool. And people that play Salamangreat, like I'm sure they're smart, but like the Salamangreat, man. I barely want to put it in flowchart daddy. You know what I mean? Like, man, fuck it. We'll leave it there because I don't want to put in Men of Culture. And would I dare put it in bot 3 War? Did Salamangreat players buy? Wait, I need to think about this. Would a Salamangreat player have bought 3 Warrock Mountains before Warrocks were fully supported? I mean, they bought 3 Salamangreat and that shit got limited, so I'm gonna say yes. Salamangreat players, sorry, but you bought 3 Warrock Mountains. It's not good, not bad. You never know. Maybe someday that shit will skyrocket in price and you'll make all your money back and Gazelle will be back at 3. Am I right? All right. So hero players. Oh, you might think, oh, hero players, easy. It's going to put them in anime fans. Hell no. Hell no. Man, yes, they are anime fans. Yes, they are degenerate and cool. They probably bought 3 Warrock Mountains. They are definitely Men of Culture. But they're like Dino player level, man. Heroes are sick. They're fucking sick. Actually, never mind. Sorry, heroes. I love heroes, but no one's as sick as dino players. Sorry. Your brain just cannot get as big as dino players. But definitely Cosmo Brain. At the very top of Cosmo Brain, you have hero players. The amount of fucking lines, the amount of combo lines that hero players have, and the different ways the deck gets built, the different ways people play them, is just crazy. You can get so creative with heroes because they have so much support and so many good cards that you can play with. You know, this is like including Destiny, Elemental, Vision, Masked, all the heroes. And I think they're all based, except Plasma. If you play Plasma, I should have given Plasma his own thing here. We'll use this second Dante as a representation of Plasma and say that it's degenerate and not cool. Okay, we won't do that because I don't want it to look weird. But yeah, basically, heroes are dope. Plasma's not dope. All right, thank you very much. Here we have Adignister. Adignister. Oh man, Adignister. Definitely big brain people. Are they Cosmo Brain though? I don't think so. Nah, they're not. They're not Cosmo Brain. I feel like they're like flowchart daddies. But they're like more based, so we're gonna put them on top of we're gonna put them above the fucking Drytron players in terms of brain size, because Adignister players, like, they're just too based. Their deck is kind of flowcharty, but it also has like a lot of different lines based on the extenders you have in hand, and just there's just like, you definitely need to be more adaptable to play this deck versus this one, which is so overly, like, painfully consistent. So I definitely think it's more based and smarter in that sense. And it's also just like, you know, I love that it's this like super based combo deck that ends up just like summoning a beat stick that is unaffected. It's too based. So we're gonna put Flowchart Daddy. At the top of Flowchart Daddy we have Adignister. Alistair. So here we have basically the invoked. I guess we're saying engine. There's so many decks that play invoked. Invoked is in everything and anything, right? So we can. I wouldn't even call this a deck as much as an engine. And you know, normal summon Alistair, invocation. That's the search. If you don't want no drama, you pull out Macabre, and if you don't want that smoke, spit that fire Purgatrio. This is a caveman deck, bro. That's a fucking caveman deck. Let's be real here, man. Fucking bruh. Like, not as caveman as this shit, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, Alistair, come on. Every time you see a normal summon of Alistair, the first thing you think is like, oh wow, so original, right? Like, and the combo line is so simple. Literally, like a monkey could do it. A fucking monkey could play Alistair. So we're gonna put it in caveman. You know, not based, not epic, just caveman, brainless, below Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. That's it. That's what I'm giving Alistair. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, here we have the Kragan. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's like the craziest brain deck, you know, but it is pretty based. I'm gonna give it like bot 3 War Rock Mountain. You know what I mean? Like, going into Sharks, you know, there's a lot of water support coming out and shit, so it might have been a smart move, might have been a good investment. So I would say Shark players, you know, they're all about those stonks, you know, they're all about investing in themselves and investing in the future. And I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's a pretty neat deck. It has like cool combo lines and shit, but ultimately your end board is pretty much always like same old. So that's that. Well, from what I've played, I haven't played against them very many times, I'll admit. I have a friend who plays them, so he might not be too happy about this. He might want me to put this here, but you know, it is what it is. Bought 3 War Rock Mountain. Evil Twins. Here we have Kiss a Kill. Evil Twins are at the top of Man of Culture. They're the best, man. They're just so cute. They're so perfect. I love them. I love their artwork. I wish I had them. I wish I didn't invest all my gems into zombies after I built dinos. I wish I went and made Life Twin. I fucking love these cards, and they're beautiful. Men of Culture love these cards, and Uncultured Swine hates these cards, like Eldritch players and Alistair players. Anyway, let's not talk about that too much. And obviously, I'm kidding, by the way. If you're a Eldritch player or Alistair player, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But for real, man, fucking, they're just too beautiful. Oh, also, they have, like, pretty complicated combo lines, etc. And, like, you can do a bunch of different whatever plays with them. Anyway, they're very beautiful. Virtual World is... Virtual World is Flowchart Daddy, right? Or are they... Yeah, Virtual World is not. Yeah, it's Flowchart Daddy. I don't know why this artwork is like a different size than the other ones. I guess I didn't get a full artwork. Anyway, they're very Flowchart Daddy. Like, it's always just the same shit. Like, but it is like a pretty long combo line that you have to remember. So that's what I give them. I'm giving them this much, and that's all I'm giving them. I'm not a huge fan of Virtual World, honestly, because by the end of it, they'll just summon like calamities, and that's it. Summon calamities, pass turn, the opponent can't do anything. I don't find that very smart. I find it kind of degenerate and not cool. But it's not like super stupid. You gotta kind of need a brain to play this, so I'll put it here. Here we have Lyrilusk, or more precisely, Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade. And Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade, honestly, I'm inclined to put it either in Flowchart or Cosmo Brain. I kind of love this deck. I think this deck is fucking sick, even though it's so busted. I think I'm going to put it in Cosmo Brain, actually. I wouldn't say it's Flowcharty, because, like, they have a lot of different combo lines and adaptability, so opponents need to be pretty adaptable to play this deck. And it's not like if they do something, you have to go into a new combo line. If they do something there, you have to go into a new combo line, and your end board is going to change based on that. So I think Lyrilusk Tri-Brigade, it's a pretty good deck to put in Cosmo Brain. Probably at the bottom of Cosmo Brain. And honestly, by the way, I'm just going to put this like this, yeah, because I think this is a bit more based. But yeah, at the bottom of Cosmo Brain, I think is a pretty good spot for it. And like, it's still a really cool, impressive deck, and I respect players who play it and play it well, because it's not a very easy deck to play. So definitely gonna put that shit in Cosmo Brain. The Machina, Earth Machine, Rank 10 Trains, whatever, we're just gonna put them all into the same category, which is very cleanly at did they buy 3 war? No, they're smarter than that, but they're not like, almost want something like, cause they're not Flowchart Daddies whatsoever. They're definitely not Cosmo Brain. But I don't think they would have bought 3 Warrock Mountains. Actually, never mind. They bought the Machina structure deck. Of course they would buy 3 Warrock Mountains. We'll put them right under here. They're the second most likely to make big profits off of their Warrock Mountains. Oh, this isn't really the vibe. I'm just going to skip this beat. Yeah, they're the second most likely to make profit on Warrock Mountain. They got a really good price on it, and it's going to go up. It's going to go to the moon. I just believe it for them and for access codes, right? Listen, man, this deck is sick. People that play this deck, much respect to you. I don't play against it often, but when I do, I'm always like, yo, this deck's so cool, man. I wish I played Earth Machines. And then I win, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's why I don't play Earth Machines. I forgot. But fucking base deck definitely doesn't look easy to play. There's a lot of cool, like, interactions between different archetypes for the machines, with the trains and machinas and everything. So just a dope deck that does require enough brain power for me to put it at least in bot 3 Warrock Mountains. And I was low-key considering, like, moving these two up here just to give you an idea. So, they're like lightly in bot 3 Warrock Mountains. Medolce. Medolce's cool. Medolce's cool. Has a cool combo lines. It's kind of silly. And also it's lowly art. I'm gonna put in, like, degenerate but cool. Like if you're a Medolce player, you're probably like a degenerate, but you're also like a cool fella. You know what I'm saying? But you're like playing a lowly archetype, so I don't know what you expected from me. Like, I'd love to say that you're like a man of culture, but I'm not about to put lowly girls in man of culture, okay? And these don't count. Yeah, and the deck itself, it's got like cool combo lines. It's definitely a lot more complicated than say this shit here, but and it can do a lot more, and it's way better probably. Actually, I lost to a Madolche player in tournament the other day, but I don't think it requires like crazy brain power. Like half the reason people win with Madolche is because their opponent doesn't know what the fuck it does. Because I lost the first game against that Madolche player, and then I crushed him the next two because I was like, oh, okay, so this is what your fucking cards do. Like, it's not that amazing or anything. So yeah, degenerate, but cool. Mech Knight, or pretty much just Mech Knight invoked, if we're being honest here. Mech Knight is pretty much just an invoked deck. Because it's an invoked deck, I'm inclined to put in Caveman, but it would go more in degenerate. However, the thing is, Mech Knight, you kind of need your opponent to have like the two cards, in the same column and shit to have like really good plays, unless you use spells and traps. So I'm kind of inclined to maybe put it a bit higher, but you're not a man of culture for playing Mech Knights. Did you buy 3 Warrock Mountain? Mech Knight players, did you buy 3 Warrock Mountain? I don't think you did. Nah, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you're degenerate. You're a degenerate, but you're cool. You're a degenerate, but you're cool. You're cool. You play Alistair, which makes you a degenerate, but you play Mech Knights, which makes you cool. Your brain, not as big as these guys. Not as big as these guys. Definitely not. You're playing fucking Mech Knight Invoke. Like, come on. You're like, ooh, 2 columns, summon. Ooh, 2 columns. Like, come on. But, it's cool. It's cool. I'll give it degenerate, but cool. Alright, Dark Lord, Nurse Burn, bullshit ass, stupid fucking deck. Honestly, worse than Eldritch. The most caveman, small-brained, idiot, stupid fucking deck of all time is this one right here. I hate this deck so much. Hate it with a burning passion. Fuck this deck. Monkey Flip. Sorry, I don't have anything else to say about that. Phantom Knights, I'm just straight up gonna put in Monkey Flip. Haha. That's what they do, right? They search a trap, set it, then on your turn, Monkey Flip. Then activate Miss, it can't do anything. Either that, or they're like degenerate, not cool, because they're gonna summon the heroic champion, that stupid rank 4 warrior monster that if he has 5 or more materials, your opponent can't fucking play. Man, I hate this card so much. But for the most part, usually what you're seeing with this deck is Monkey Flip. Monkey Flip, haha. So that's what we're gonna give it. That's gonna be it for that. I don't even want to get into it. Sure, it has interesting combo lines. You can mix it with Burning Abyss, whatever. Look, if you mix it with Burning Abyss, it becomes degenerate but cool. If you don't, it's Monkey Flip, haha. There you go. Prank Kids. Prank Kids, I mean, they're very flowcharty. And they're kind of degenerate too. They're kind of degenerate and flowcharty. But I feel like they're more. I don't know, because you don't really need that much brain power to play this fucking deck. It's really like any monster goes into your combo. Combo's ultra flowcharty, ultra simple though. Like, man, fuck that. We're gonna put it like, at the top of degenerate but cool. It's cool. I don't hate Prank Kids or anything. I think it's a cool deck, but it's definitely not like, doesn't require like 1,000 IQ to fucking summon a Prank Kids and go into your Link 1 and then just do the same combo that you would do with any other card. And almost all your cards are fucking starters. It's just, it's cool. It's degenerate, but it's cool. Rockets. Here we have Rockets. And you know where we're going to put Rockets? That's right. At the top of... I don't even know if I can put it at the top of this. I don't know. I think like we have to put them above fucking Virtual World. At Ignister though? Nah, I don't think so. We're gonna put them in Flowchart Daddy. I mean, you probably already know the flowchart. I've never fucking played this deck in my life, and I already know that you're gonna summon a Dark Dragon, make Striker Dragon, get the fucking field spell, and do all your silly shit like get the Romulus, get the Ravine, fucking send the black metal, whatever, dude. Just fuck. This shit is flowcharty as fuck, but it's pretty based. It's pretty fucking cool. It's a fucking dope dark dragon deck with a bunch of nice looking dragon monsters. So I can't hate on that shit. Players who play this deck, pretty smart. It's a good deck. It was a good investment. A lot of people have been playing it for a very long time, and to this day, it is still good. So definitely flowchart daddy. I won't bring you in Cosmo Brain. You're not up here, buddy. But you know, I see you. I see you. You're doing nice. You're doing good. You're doing good. Shadow players. It's monkey flip. It's just monkey flip. It's monkey flip dot deck, bro. Winda to me just counts as like another monkey flip card. It's fucking Winda Turbo. I don't have much to say on this deck. I kind of hate it. Like, I'm inclined to put in Degenerate, not cool, but the pretty waifus, which are like very Men of Culture-esque, make me push it up at least to a monkey flip, haha. But yeah, just not cool, man. Such a lame deck. Fucking Winda Turbo. Fucking boring as fuck. Flip monsters, monkey flip. Fucking fuck that shit. I just don't like this deck. I mean, I know a lot of people are like big fans of Shaddoll, and I get that, but you know, playing against it in Master Duel has made me completely lose my love for it. It's just so annoying. I hate Winda. If Winda got banned, I would put this in Men of Culture, but Winda's not banned, so we're looking at this. Sky Striker invoked. Well, it just says Sky Striker. I'm just assuming you're probably playing invoked cards in there. If we're being real, you're probably playing invoked cards in there. And I'm gonna be real with you. You're kind of based. Yes, I hate this deck. I hate this engine. I can't stand this engine. I can't stand how good and simple it is. But have you seen Ray? Come on. Come on. And then Zeke? Ooh. Come on. Come on. You know. That's some Men of Culture shit right there. And I mean, come on. It's Sky Strikers, man. You gotta be a Man of Culture to appreciate that shit. You need to have an eye for quality when you're looking at Sky Strikers. So, you know, it is what it is. We're putting this up here. Whether you're playing Invoked in it or not, you're kind of based. Definitely not as smart as these fucking decks, because your deck is the simplest fucking shit ever, bro. You like put a monster on the field, go into like 3 or 4 of the same link monsters all the time, activate all your spells, search, engage, like whatever, dude. We all know what you're doing. It's very simple, it's very cute, and the artwork is very nice. So we're gonna put this in Men of Culture. Guru. So we're looking at Subterror. Subterror is, you might want to say Degenerate, not cool. I'm going to put in Monkey Flip. Haha. I think this deck is like the definition of Monkey Flip. You know what I mean? I get that it's like kind of BS, but in a world filled with Eldritch, when I face a Guru, I'm not too mad. I'm like, all right. And it's not True Draco either. So even though in a way it's just as annoying, I don't know why, but I like the Subterror cards more. Well, the very few Subterror cards that Subterror players actually play. We'll give this beat a skip. Not really vibing. Alright. So now we're looking at Frogs. Now, Frog players, I'm sorry, man. Your deck is murked. In TCG we have 3 Toads. In Master Duel we have 1 Toad, which means our deck is bad. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys, alright? I'm going to put you at the top of Bot 3 Warrock Mountains. Why? Because these mountains, they will shoot up in price someday. And our Toad, it will come back to 3 someday. And we'll be happy that we had all the frog cards for when that moment comes. I still believe, boys, I still believe our frog buddies are going to be top tier someday again. So that's why. These guys are smart. They're not the smartest, but they're smart because they know the frogs will be back. The frogs, they will be back someday. Long-term investing, buddy. Toon players. You guys are anime fans, but you're like, you know, probably smarter than the Blue Eyes Dark Magician, ancient gear players. You know, like Tunes, I feel like they can actually do some unique things and interesting unique things that most decks can't. Like with the just it's just that, you know, it's kind of inconsistent, kind of all over the place for a deck, and definitely not the smartest. Like you're not going up here because, buddy, like your deck is not difficult. It is very easy to play. It's just not great. So you kind of have to be really smart to not lose. But I'll put some respect on Tunes. I'll put at the top of anime fans. So, you know, you best enjoy that. Trap Tricks, Rafflesia. You probably can't see Trap Tricks, Rafflesia here, but that's what that is. I don't know, man. Not a fan. I don't like the lowly shit. And honestly, unlike Medolce, there's nothing based about Trap Tricks. It's gonna go at the bottom of Degenerate Not Cool. We do not like this. I do not like this. Man, when I saw that summon animation on the Xyz monster, I wanted to throw up. I threw up a little bit in my mouth. I was like, what the fuck is this? No way. No way. Man, I mean, I don't even need to explain. If you're playing Trap Tricks, like, you're a degenerate, and it's not cool, man. It is not cool. It is not cool. Okay. Moving on. Tri-Brigade players. This is just like generic Tri-Brigade, just Tri-Brigade. Where do we want to put Tri-Brigade? Honestly, I feel like this deck is kind of just a flowchart deck. Like, negate Fractal, and oftentimes I'll just pass turn. I feel like the people who play this deck, you know, they're not like stupid or anything. It's just, you know, they kind of have this flowchart, and then when they see it messed up, they're like, oh, I can't play. Okay, bye. I think we're gonna put them at just above Drytron. Yeah, just above Drytron and Flowchart Daddy. You know, just above Drytron, especially because, you know, there's so many decks you can make with this, so I have to take into account all the other Tri-Brigade decks, kind of. So we'll put it just above the Drytron, just under Virtual World, because I feel like the flowchart for this one is still like simpler. And coincidentally, it's right under Lyrilusk, which is the superior way to play Tri-Brigade. Oh, we had 2 True Dracos. Well, never mind that. We already know. And here we have Utopia. Now, Utopia, well, basically we're talking about like the Onomats, the ZWs, the ZSs. They had a nice showing at the Xyz event. And honestly, I think this deck might be a little underrated, a little under the radar. It is an anime fan deck, but it's not going there because the people who play this deck, they kind of need a brain, man. There's a lot of different things you can set up for and shit. It's not perfect, however. What I would say is like it kind of feels like a deck that, you know, you kind of use like one hand trap and they stop playing. You know, I've seen players who play this deck literally pass after I activated Compulse, and that wasn't even an Xyz event. Like, I literally compulsed their Onomat, you know, the Onomat that summons a bunch of Onomats from hand. So I think we could put it like right above Sharks and bought 3 Warrock Mountains. You know, like these guys, they definitely bought some Warrock Mountains, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay that you bought Warrock Mountain. It's gonna go up in price eventually. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So yeah, I'm feeling like this is a pretty good spot for the Utopia. And finally we have Zodiac, basically Tri-Brigade Zodiac. And man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The Zodiac players fucking just make one on top of the other. I'm low-key thinking we put them in Man of Culture because, like, I don't know if you've seen Dryden artwork, but when I saw that animation, I was like, oh, shit. Damn, I didn't know. Girl, I didn't know. But if I'm being real with myself, this deck is it's not cool. This deck is just not cool, man. It's degenerate. It's not cool. It's too easy. It's just Zeus Turbo, basically, with, like, Tri-Brigades on top. I just can't respect it. I can't put respect on that. Even though the artwork is nice on that Trident, I just can't respect it. So yeah, that's the tier list. I think it makes a lot of sense, you know. I'm just looking over it real quick, see if I want to make any quick changes, anything that jumps out at me. Let's see. I'm gonna leave all these here. I might want to... No, that all looks okay to me. I might want to put these actually in Men of Culture. I think people who play frogs are men of culture, and even the access code talker, all the code talker people, they're definitely men of culture. And we're gonna put the bot 3 Warrock Mountains under the Burning Abyss, because I do think Burning Abyss is still like a better deck, and this shit has been around forever. So whoever bought Burning Abyss got so much of their money's worth. So, you know, they had to have a stonk-minded brain. So we're definitely going to put this at the top of bot 3 Warrock Mountains. Also, factually, they did. Well, I mean, the players, the Burning Abyss players, they definitely bought 3 Warrock Mountains. You can look it up. Degenerate but cool. I think this is all looking pretty fine. I would say... Honestly, zombies, the more I think about it, even though I love this deck, they're more like a monkey flip deck. They're not that cool, honestly. They're just a monkey flip, but they're even, I would say, under, well, yeah, they're a bit smarter than Subterra players. These are all fine. People who play Chaos Max, are they really degenerates? No, I think I'm giving them too much credit. These are just Duel Links players. We'll put them we'll put them right above this. We'll put them above Toons. We'll put it at the top of anime fans. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Down here, that all makes sense. Yep. So this is the list. And I guess this puts it at the smartest. No, I want it at the dumbest. This is the dumbest of the of the decks in the game that are like pretty good. The fact that these fucking Nurse Burn decks can just win like on your draw phase, on your first draw phase. This shit, I really want this shit to get addressed in the ban list, man. Players who play this deck are idiots. They are mindless goons. Some say that they're even just a program that is just playing this deck non-stop to farm gems, which I could give some credence to. Anyway, so yeah, that's the list. Now let us save the list as a brain size. Oh, there you go. Brain size of Master Duel players. Save that and share it on Twitter. And once it's shared on Twitter, it is no longer my problem. It's their problem now. Their problem. All right. So yeah, guys. Why don't you just follow me on Twitter? I'll link that shit in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right. Peace.
One step ahead of heartbreak. One step, heartbreak.